So I'll put H here, Hadley and Hadley, okay, and Feral and Polar. But so the thing that India's got going for it are the Himalayas, okay. So with the Himalayan mountains, one of the things we said that if you take a chunk of air and you push it against the mountain, we talked about actually it could be a lifting, what we call a lifting, a way to lift air up. It's what we call a lifting mechanism. Now, in the wintertime, basically you can see these red lines are showing you the prevailing wind. In the wintertime, basically just dry wind is slamming up against the Himalayas. No problem, okay? It's rising, but it's cooling, but there's no water vapor, okay? If we compare that to then the summertime, okay, 6 months later, now find your intertropical convergence zone. It's moved up like it should. Now look at what's slamming against the Himalayan mountains, okay? Now instead of the dry air coming from the northern Hadley cell, now you have moist air coming basically from the southern Hadley cell. Okay, so this is the problem. Let's see, maybe pick a different color, purple. This is the problem, if you want to call it that. This moist air is slamming up against those mountains. And those mountains aren't budging, so the air needs to go up and over it. And as that warm, that moist air hits the mountains, it expands and cools, and it basically dumps on those folks. Okay, so that is the dry season and the wet season. And remember we call that orographic lifting. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think. Maybe this one will. One last slide. I think this might help us for when we meet on. Remember, we're not leaving for Thanksgiving until after Monday. We get to meet Monday. Monday, we're going to go ahead and keep in order and do hurricanes. Okay. So this slide will kind of prep us a little bit for hurricanes. I want to talk about hurricanes, and then I also want to talk about thunderstorms after Thanksgiving. So these now switch it up, and these are not prevailing winds. These are actually ocean currents. But the thing that creates these ocean currents is wind. Okay, so water can't move by itself, but basically the wind above it kind of creates these. Anytime you look at a map like this, probably not so surprising. Remember we said it's hot or warm near the equator. So anything that's coming from the equator is going to actually be hot. So anything that's red is hot. So hot, okay, hot. Oceans are great for relocating heat from the equator towards the poles. Anything that's blue actually is cold. Okay, so if you focus on North America, in the Atlantic Ocean, we kind of have these segmented ocean currents that create a large ocean gyre. Okay, and so the North Atlantic gyre is created by the Gulf Stream, North Atlantic Drift, Canary Channel, North Equatorial Channel. So, okay. I think that's pretty good. So we'll stop there. So the sheet I gave you, you can hand it in now if you want, if it's done, or you can take it home and finish filling it out. How's that?